You know what nobody really prepares you for when you get into your 30s? It's not even just the fact that staying out late seems like a whole chore. Like you need 3 days notice for you to stay out past 10 p.m. It's not the fact that you start feeling pains in places you did not know you could feel pain. It's not even the fact that, some weird things that's getting you excited. It's no longer about, a new phone, a new this. It's more about when juicers, you start getting excited when you get juicers, or there's a new set of kitchenware or dishes that make you excited, or you see a new mug and you're so happy. You're like, oh my God. You see something new, maybe one new vacuum, and then that's what makes you excited. It's not those. The main thing is you just decide that you're not going to take shit from anybody again. Like overnight, you can't just do some certain things anymore. And these are the things I'll be talking about today. The things I am no longer willing to accept. In your 20s, you might spend most of it trying to prove, you're patient enough, you're successful enough, you're an easygoing person, you're this, you're considering other people's feelings, even when they should not be considered. And sometimes it's just exhausting. It's so exhausting. But this phase of my life feels very different from me because I have taken charge of it. Not like I wasn't in charge of it before, but I mean, it's different now. I used to be the kind of person that would be like, just sweep things under the carpet because, I don't like confrontation. I don't want to cause any issues. Since it's going to cause issues, let me just let it be. I'm not that person anymore. I'm not interested in suffering for anybody. I'm not interested in sweeping things under the carpet or being uncomfortable simply because I want to keep the relationship a certain way. Because my peace has become very expensive and I can't afford to lose it carelessly. So today, we'll be talking about all the things I am no longer willing to do or willing to start doing in my 30s. And if you're watching this, you're thinking, oh, wow, same. Oh, yes, there's some things that have changed. Please sit back, relax, and enjoy. First things first, I am no longer willing to compromise my boundaries just to keep people comfortable. You know how you're always saying, yeah, you're always understanding, you're always accommodating. Even when something inconveniences me, I'll still do it because I don't want to seem rude. I don't want to seem difficult. And to be honest, a lot of people are raised this way. Like they tell you that you have to be easygoing, you have to be soft, you have to be manageable, you have to be pleasant, blah, 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 blah. Nothing about boundaries. So sometimes you will feel bad for saying no. Oh no, I can't do it. Instead, you sit with the discomfort, you bury it inside. Inside, you're feeling so uncomfortable, but you're smiling, putting on a fake smile and a fake face outside because you don't want to make the other person seem uncomfortable. And at the end of the day, people that call you difficult are people that benefit from your lack of boundaries. And I learned this the hard way. People will drain you if you don't protect yourself. They get used to you overextending yourself and they expect that from you always, but no more. I've learned that boundaries, it's not you being rude, it's not you being difficult, it's just you protecting yourself, protecting your peace. And that if setting a boundary makes someone uncomfortable or makes you seem difficult, then you have to let that person go. So I'm no longer going to start over explaining why I need to rest, why I need a break, why I can't do a certain thing you're asking me to do. If I don't want to attend something, I don't need to feel guilty for not wanting to attend it if I can't attend it. If I tell you that I don't pick calls I have set so many boundaries, like with a lot of people. You can't call me by 6, 7 a.m. in the morning. For what? Why? I can't wake up in the morning and the first thing I'm doing is attending to someone else's issues. I will not do that. I do not take calls past 10 p.m. So you can call me between the hours of 8 or 9 in the morning. In fact, 9. I go to gym at 8. You can call me with hours of 9 and 10 p.m. And that is that. So those 13 hours in the day, you are free to call me. Anything before or after that, I will not answer you. And that's a boundary I've set. If you're not okay with it, then that's no longer my problem. That's a you problem. My mornings are very important to me. When I wake up, I know how I want to start my day. So I cannot start it with you. You can't wake me up from sleep and then I'm starting my day with you telling me about something that might not even be my business in the first place. So that's one of the boundaries that I've set. So examples, that's like an example of the things I'm talking about. So when I set those boundaries before, someone can call me at 4 and I'm always available to answer the phone. You can call me at 10. You can call me at any time of the day. But I decided I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to sacrifice my sleep for any of that. No. Now, my no is a full sentence. I'm not explaining anything to you. It is the way it is because it's the way I want it. I don't have to explain myself. No is no. Full stop. The second one is I am no longer willing to sacrifice my comfort for appearance. See, if I'm not comfortable in that outfit, I do not care how it looks. I don't care. I am not wearing it. Before, because I want to look a certain way, I don't care if I'm comfortable in it or not. I just want to have this look. So I'm going to wear that high heel, that 6-inch heel. I'm going to wear that jeans that doesn't let me eat. I'm going to wear that corset that won't let me sit down. No, not anymore. I'm not doing that. I can also find comfortable dresses that look good. So if I'm not going to be comfortable in it, my sister, you won't find me in that outfit. And it's not even just outfits. It's spaces, it's people. So if I am not comfortable going for a certain event, no matter what the event is, I'm going to be uncomfortable there. I'm not going to have a good time there. I'm not going to feel myself there. Honey, I'm not showing up and I'm not sorry. You see, my comfort is very, very important to me. If you invite me out to a party is like from say 8 and maybe everyone is going out to the club afterwards. If I'm tired, if I'm not comfortable there, you take me where I don't like, I am standing up and I am leaving. I'm not going to do anything or go anywhere just because I am doing what I am comfortable in and what I enjoy. See, if I go somewhere, if the chair is even uncomfortable, I will go. If the people around there, the environment, they're draining, I'm just like, what's going on here? If the outfit is not allowing me to breathe well, it is staying in the wardrobe or is going to someone else who is going to enjoy it, I'm not going to wear it. So my comfort is actually very, very important to me at this point in my life. And I'm not going to trade that for any kind of appearance or any kind of presence. I'm not doing that. Thirdly, I'm no longer willing to maintain one-sided relationships where it's just you giving and giving and giving and you're not taking. I've said this before. You can't pour from an empty cup. When you give, you give, you give, you give, and no one is pouring back into you. At some point, you don't have anything left to give. And that person you've been pouring into is going to go somewhere else to take from somebody else. It's only you that remembers birthdays. You're the only one giving emotional support. You're the only one always there for them. You're the only one carrying your business on your head. They start a new business, you carry on it. You're the only one always there for them. Anything that they're doing, you show up, you're there first, you're helping them prepare, organize, do everything. But when it comes to you and your own things, they're never there. There's one excuse or the other, or they just don't even expect them to come and do up or do anything for you or even show up. I am not prepared for those kinds of relationships anymore. In the past, yes, I was that kind of person. I was like, oh, that's just me. I don't care what they do. That's just who I am. I don't have to be like them. But I'm not doing that anymore. I pour into people who pour into me. It's all about reciprocity this time. Like if you don't reciprocate what I give, the energy, the feelings, the time, the attention, everything, it's time for me to check out. It's a give and take situation here. Nobody's doing, it's a 50-50 thing here. Sometimes it could be 60-40, it could be 70-30, depending on what you need at the said time. But the fact that it's 100-0, no way. That's never going to happen again. You give, I give. You treat me exactly how I treat you. And the funny part is that people like this, when you start to draw back or you start to behave like them, they see it as a problem. When they are doing it, it's not a problem. But when it's now your turn, they now start seeing issues with it. Run away from people like that. They will drain you, suck you dry, and move on to the next person. I'm not saying this to say that relationships should be transactional. No, but it needs to be mutual. You don't have to ask anybody for consistency. Someone who truly cares about you and calls you their friend, their lover, whoever, would not see it as a problem doing even more than what you do for them. It's not going to seem as anything. It's going to come natural. It's not something you have to ask or beg for. So if I feel unwanted in your life, trust me that, in fact, before that feeling even comes, I'm out of there. My fourth thing is, I am no longer willing to shrink myself to become likable. When you do that, you're no longer being authentic. You're being somebody that you're not. Because you have to fill shoes that are not yours so that this person likes you. And the truth of the matter is that not everyone can like you. No matter how you are, no matter what you do, not everybody can like you. So there's no point chasing likeness from anybody. Sometimes, even in certain relationships, you start to dim yourself, you start to pretend that you're not that knowledgeable, or you don't have that much money, or you're not that ambitious, because you want them to like you that way, because they're like, oh, if I tell them this, they're not going to like me again. And you pretend that, oh, you don't want certain things, you don't want this thing. Meanwhile, you're dying inside and you want that thing, no? But you're like, oh, this person might see me a different way and not like me anymore if I say this is what I want. That's pretense. That's not your authentic self. That's not who you are. Somebody disrespects you and you just laugh it off because you don't want to bring drama. They'll say, oh, this small thing that happened now. He's not complaining. That why? You lower your standards so people don't say like you're living in la la land or you're unrealistic. The one that annoys me the most is when even women start to lower they start to pretend like they're not even as smart as they actually are, because a lot of the opposite gender, they're intimidated by confident women, smart women. So they just dull themselves down because they want to be liked. And it's very tiring because you're not being yourself, you're performing, you're acting. So it's tiring, it's exhausting to just be somebody you're not. That's why when we meet somebody who you can be yourself with, you're like, it's so refreshing. You're like, oh my God, I can't let this person go because you can be yourself with them. That's really not the way to live. You're living someone else's life and you're living literally a lie, because that's not who you are. At the end of the day, people will not even know who the real you is because you're pretending to be somebody you're not. If you're a materialistic girl, you're a materialistic girl. If you like expensive things, you like expensive things. If you want to aim for the moon, you want to aim for the moon. You don't have to pretend to be aiming for the ceiling of a one-bedroom house because you want to be liked by somebody. You have to be honest about who you are, and the right people would like you for who you are. And then with those few are enough for you. You don't need the whole world to like you. Like, you don't have to even give a damn about anybody not liking you. As long as you are your authentic self, you will find your tribe. Oh, this fifth one is just a lot of people are guilty of this. I am no longer willing to ignore red flags because of potential. See, this thing has been a problem for a lot of people. Right? It has caused issues for a lot of people, because you are seeing this person, you're seeing who they are, and instead of accepting this present self you're seeing, you are accepting the future self that has not even come for their potential self. Oh, he'll change, she'll change, they'll improve, they can do better. I think the better thing to accept is their consistency, the patterns and what they show you, and not some imaginable fairy tale about who they can morph into. Potential is not that character. It's not consistency. We stay with people, or we are connected to them because of the person we think they can potentially become. You're thinking about things that don't happen. You're thinking about a future version of themselves who they've not even morphed into yet. And that is the person you are holding on to instead of the present person that is showing you shaggy. So I'm no longer willing to do that. Been there, done that. And that is something I am no longer willing to do. I'm going to take what you're currently showing me for who you are. I'm not looking for any potential. If you decide to change in the future and become a better person, great, amazing for you, hooray. But what I see is what I'm going to take. Not your promises, not your whatever it is. I'm going to take what you're showing me as who you are. This sixth one is something I've never done, but I have to mention it because it's also something I'm never going to do, which is willing to overwork myself for any form of validation. Many people tie their worth to productivity. Like, they feel like if taking a break is like a sin to them because they're like, oh, they're being useless, they're wasting their time. It's ridiculous to me. You have to feel like you're constantly working, constantly achieving before you feel like, okay, you're actually worth something. To the point that rest now feels like you're doing something wrong. Oh, hustle culture, grind harder, all of that, blah, 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 blah. Never done, never willing to do. See me, I like soft life. If I have a choice, I would never work a day in my life. They'll be wearing burnout like a badge of honor. In fact, the other day, a friend of mine lost his cousin. Why? Because literally morning to night, he's working. Rest feels like a crime. Like, you cannot just catch him resting at home or say, oh, I'm going to take a holiday because I need to rest. It's like a crime. It's like, no, I have to be doing something. I have to achieve something. Oh no, this day cannot just waste. Being exhausted is not proof that you're ambitious or that you're hardworking or No. It's proof that you have tied your worth to overperforming, and it's dangerous for you because body no be firewood. You actually do need to rest. You need to take a break. The best thing is to have balance. Yes, you can be ambitious, you can work hard, you can do all of that, but you also need rest. There needs to be some balance. Two things can actually exist. You can actually be ambitious and you can also rest. You can be disciplined and you can also rest. You can be successful and you can also rest. Because what's the point of building such a beautiful life, having that much money, everything, and you're not even here to enjoy it? Number 7 is something I have been guilty of since time immemorial. I have been guilty of this since I can remember. Staying silent just to avoid conflict. I am no longer willing to do this, but see me, I wear the crown. In fact, I feel like sometimes I still do it, but like I'm work in progress. I'm not willing to do it anymore. I still hate unnecessary drama. If I can avoid it, I will. But the younger me would avoid it so much that it would actually hurt me to the point that I start resenting that person. Something would genuinely hurt me, but I'm telling myself, oh, if I bring this thing up now, it's going to cause quarrel. We'll start going back and forth. So let me just leave it. And then deep down, that feeling of hurt is still there and it starts turning to resentment. And it starts showing in other ways. And I become like emotionally distant, passive aggressive, quietly angry. Like small thing that would just happen. I'm just like, I just snap because I was avoiding having that conversation. But now I'm learning healthy communication. I mean, you don't have to argue. You can disagree with somebody. You can tell the person you don't like this without it turning into a fight, if the person also has sense, by the way. Because people always feel like they are being attacked. If something bothers me, I will say it clearly, respectfully, so you don't do it next time. Because I mean, as adults, we should be able to communicate clearly without turning into World War. Like we don't have to argue about anything. It's just clear communication and setting boundaries. And honestly, people who really care about you should hear your feelings and consider them without punishing you for expressing yourself. This is a big one because a lot of people do it without even knowing that they're doing it. And that is, I'm no longer willing to abandon myself for love or for any kind of companionship or relationship or anything of the sort. A lot of times, and a lot of people, I think this is quite common with a lot of people, where they stop doing things that they genuinely enjoy because their partner or whoever doesn't enjoy it, doesn't like it. So they just stop doing it. They stop prioritizing themselves. And all of a sudden, you wake up one day and your entire world revolves around another human being. And then you slowly disappear. You don't even remember what you enjoy doing, how you enjoy spending your free time. You just become a different person. And I think that love should not require self-abandonment. Yes, you would compromise. It requires compromise, but not you turning or morphing into another whole human being. Loving somebody constantly costs you your identity. Something is wrong. You can still be able to express yourself, do things you love, go where you like, things like that. You know, sometimes it's not even just about what you enjoy doing. It's about how you even communicate. Even things that you would normally not tolerate, and then you're now tolerating it simply because you're in a relationship with this person. It doesn't have to be so. You can also not tolerate it from your partner. Like I said, yes, compromise exists, but it doesn't have to be with everything. And it doesn't have to be with things that would cost you your comfort or your peace. So I'm not willing to be in a situation where I am constantly overthinking and worrying about some other person's opinions about every single thing that I do, or willing to abandon the things I enjoy doing and morph into some other person I don't know simply because this is what this other person likes. That is something I would never be willing to do, at least not anymore. So I am not doing anything for anybody's approval, for appearances, or for any nonsense validation. I am going to be me to the fullest, and I'll keep being the best version of me. This is the new me, the me that has boundaries and not willing to accept nonsense simply because I want to hold a relationship together. So now I rest more. I say no more. I leave situations faster than the speed of light, and I intentionally protect my peace. And I love this new version of me. There's still a lot of things that I'm not willing to do, but I'm going to stop here for now. And if you made it this far, please tell me in the comment section things you are no longer willing to do. It doesn't have to be in your 30s, it doesn't have to be in your 40s, whatever. Just tell us things that you are no longer willing to do, why you're not longer willing to do them, and maybe we can learn a thing or two from you. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't, because sometimes you think you have, but you have not. Share, like, comment, and all that good stuff. I will see you in my next one.